You are looking live at Patriot Gym, where tonight at College of Central Florida, where the third quarterfinal of the day between Tallahassee Community College and Eastern Florida State. Eastern Florida State ranked number 1 in the state, number 4 nationally, 27-3 record. The Eagles, the Panhandle Conference runner-up, with a 19-11 record. Give you the starting lineups momentarily. Eastern Florida State, by the way, 15-0 in the Southern Conference. They are the Southern Conference champions, dominant all season. Last year, a national tournament qualifier as the zone qualifier. They were state runner-up to eventual national champion Northwest Florida State. The Titans of Eastern Florida, coached by Jeremy Schulman. Tallahassee Community College, coached by Mark White. Scores from earlier today. Palm Beach State College held off St. Petersburg 72-71, while Northwest Florida State, the defending national champions, hold on for an 84-82 win over the College of Central Florida in an exciting game played right before our broadcast here. Last season at the state tournament, Eastern Florida defeated Pensacola and St. Petersburg College, while Tallahassee did not participate in the event. Coming into the game, Tallahassee 2-4 against teams who are in the tournament field this season. Eastern Florida 7-0 against tournament teams. 2 of their 3 losses of the season by 3 points or less. The largest defeat they suffered, 74-61, at the hands of Gulf Coast, and they've been held under 70 points just 3 times this season. Truly amazing year again for Coach Jeremy Schulman and the Eastern Florida Titans. Big key for Tallahassee. They have 14 games this season where they've made at least 10 3-pointers, 5 of the last 7 in those games. And they're 12-3 when they score 80 points. So both teams want to push it, and I could see a very, very high-scoring game, and that probably will be what both teams are hoping for. Then I say that, and both will score under 70, so it is what it is. Starting lineups for Tallahassee: number 1, Ryan Johnson; number 21, David Simmons; number 25 is Rashad Lewis; number 30 is Dion Butte, and Deshaun Smith, number 2. Johnson controlled it for the Eagles. Here's a 3 right up out of the gates by Smith, and he knocks it down. Deshaun Smith buries it. And like I said, shooting and scoring have been 2 things to look at with TCC. 12-3 when they're over 80, and 7-8 when they don't score 80 points. Wellington throws it over to C.J. Jackson, the leading scorer for the Titans. He had a game of 44 earlier this season. They take it away, and knocking that one down is Richard Gaines for Eastern. Simmons with the ball gets it to Smith, who buried the first 3, tries to do it again. That one is off, and rebounded by B.J. Gladden, the leading rebounder for Eastern. Duran, and out of bounds, and it will be Eagle ball. So like I said, Ryan Johnson, Eagles with 5 players scoring in double figures. They were in a tie for the Panhandle Conference Championship, lost on the last day by 32 at the hands of Northwest Florida State. Lewis, 3-pointer. Johnson lines it up. That one is off and rebounded. Pulled down again by Gladden, who averages around 9 rebounds per game for the Titans. Gaines. Number 32 is George Bologna. And number 10 with the ball, C.J. Jackson, like we mentioned earlier. Gaines. Here's Duran. He drives, contact, puts it up and in. Excuse me, Wallington, my mistake. Wallington for the Titans. Lewis. Here's Johnson in the corner. Drives against Baronia, throws it inside. Layup blocked by Gladden. Rebound grab by Jackson. Jackson, who can light it up in a hurry. The leading scorer for the Titans. Wallington for three. Off, tipped, grabbed by Simmons for Tallahassee. And the Eagles will push. Smith, the leading scorer for the Eagles. Simmons is short on the three and rebounded by Gladden. That's three early in the early going rebounds for B.J. Gladden, the 6'6", 210 sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. Jackson, good pass. And stuffing it home is Gladden. And the Titans lead 6-3. Timeout Eagles. We'll take 1-2, 17-12 to the half. 6-3 Eastern Florida State. All right, 6-3 in favor of Eastern Florida. They've scored the last six after Smith buried three to get the Eagles on the board. First substitution, number 3, Javon Powell in for Tallahassee. Chop block and a turnover. The foul's going to be whistled on Tallahassee Community College. Deion Butte. So 6-3, 17:01, first half. Game number 3 of the NJCAA Region 8 State Tournament. Women will be in action tomorrow. We'll give you that schedule here later on. Gladden. And good defense. Cutting that one off was Johnson. It was picked up by Powell. Powell to Johnson. Johnson cut off by Gaines. Driving in the paint. Layup. Rims off. Rebound Gladden. They haven't boxed him out yet. He's got 4 rebounds here in the first 3:25. And a foul on Simmons of Tallahassee. Referee John Curley calling the foul. Curley's a principal at Vanguard High School here in Ocala. So he's putting in the long hours. Baronia inside. Gaines, they trap him. And we got foul away from the ball and a bench warning. So the foul is going to be on Simmons. That's his first in the bench warning. I think a lot of people were surprised by what occurred there. 6-3, 16-16 to go. Half number 1. Members of the brigade, the CF fan club lurking on in. Good to see them staying around. Kareem Bruinton, number 2, is in for Eastern. Three-pointer on the way, and good by C.J. Jackson. Like I said, he can light it up, and a steal, and back the other way, unable to finish, was Bruton, and an elbow to the mush. They're going to get Smith with the elbow to the face of Jackson. He recovered pretty quick from that. So 16 minutes to go, half number 1. 3:48, 3 minutes 48 seconds since TCC has scored a point. 9 straight for Eastern. Smith hit that 3 12 seconds into the game, and since then, shut out. Bruton, nice move, missed it, tapped up in the air, and Gladden again. Here's Jackson, and he buries it. 12-0 run. Jackson was 6. He's had games of 44 and 39 in Southern Conference play. That helped bump his average up in the conference. There's Smith. So the 12-0 run ends after the layup by Deshaun Smith. Jackson Top of the key. He's going to fire again and be successful. 3 threes here in the first 4:45 for Jackson. And like I said, he has that ability to knock them down. Eastern, one of the highest scoring teams in the nation. Three-pointer is short. Gladden with his 6th rebound already. Here comes the Titans in a hurry. Austin Awad, number 23 in the game. There's a 3 by Bruton. That one is off. And rebounded by Austin Grimes, number 11 for TCC. And he throws it off of Stavian Allen, number 14, who checked in. So 10-point lead in favor of Eastern Florida. You have Powell, Grimes, Allen, Lewis, and Johnson for TCC. Jackson, Baronia, Bruton, Awad, and Gladden for the Titans. Good pass, good ball movement. They close out quickly. Awad short. Baronia offensive rebound. He's short of the... And Grimes with the rebound for the Eagles. Johnson fires a 3. Doesn't get any. Rebound Baronia. Jackson will push it up. Game played at a pretty good pace. Haven't had to discuss the shot clock yet. Always good. Baronia comes to screen. Jackson cut off. Touch foul on Allen at the 14:01 mark, half number 1. First appearance for Duran. He replaces Gladden. 6 rebounds already unofficially here in the early going. Jackson. Knocked to the deck, and he puts it in against Powell. 11 points for Jackson here in half number 1. Off to a great start are the Titans. Now 2 years ago, if you recall, in fact last year they got off to a pretty good start, and then they kind of bogged down. Pensacola took over for a while before McReynolds made that 3 late to help Eastern win. 2 years ago, Eastern really struggled in the early going against Polk State. They played in the same time slot, but obviously playing much better tonight so far. Right on cue. Tallahassee scores as Grimes puts it up and in. So first on Baronia. Tallahassee in the state tournament for the first time since 2011. They won that year. Leak was the MVP, if memory serves me correct. So 10-point lead. Good ball movement. Driving is Duran. Cut off on the floor. And the Titans give it away in a hurry. Layup is good by Grimes. Excuse me, Powell. My mistake. Devon Powell. 17-9. Tallahassee within single digits. They take it away again. That's Powell. Here's Smith. Back to Powell. He will load up the 3. Off. Rebound Duran. And the Titans will slow the pace. Eastern 27-3, ranked number 4 nationally. One of 2 teams in Region 8 ranked on the men's side nationally. 3-pointer by Awad. That rims off. Nice rebound by Bruton. And he goes up and puts it in. And he'll have the opportunity for the 3-point play. Eastern with an impressive rebounding margin. Last year they were even better. This season, 13.9 rebounds per game better than their opponent. Northwest Florida, one of the nation's best, at 19.2. Eastern, the number 1 3-point shooting team in the state, 41%. But Tallahassee overall is the 3rd best rebounding team. Their margin isn't as high as what Eastern has. Free throw is good by Bruton. 20-9, 12:37 to the half here in Ocala. And Eastern scoring 82 points a game. Tallahassee scoring 82 points a game. In fact, identical 82 per game averages coming in. 11-point lead. Powell inside. Butte spin move, and he rattles it home, and it's a 20-11 ball game as Butte scores his first basket of the ball game. So Jackson, big reason why they shoot so well. Jackson 44.6% from three-point range. Gladden, three-pointer loaded up for an off, and it's tapped, and it will be Eagle ball. So here's Smith. He will bring it across. He's averaged over 20 points per game his last 3 contests, and he is the leading scorer at 16.6. Three-pointer on the way, and good by Rashad Lewis. Lewis, 14 points a game over his last 6. 11 points per game on the year, 12 in conference. And he has pulled TCC to within 6. They trailed by 12 early on. Awad, blocked by Butte and out of bounds. And just like last season, kind of has that feel where where Eastern got out to the big early lead, and then the Panhandle Conference team started imposing its force, kind of like what happened with Pensacola. It's down to 6 in the corner, and we're going to have steps on Bruton at the 11-18 mark. Titans want to talk it over for 30, 20-14, 11-18 left before halftime. We'll be right back. Twenty to 14 in favor of Eastern Florida State. They had an early 12-0 run and actually stretched their lead to 12 points. Tallahassee got the initial basket of the ball game. Since then, the Eagles have been chipping at the margin, and Smith drives and lays it in. Deshaun Smith, I said he's averaged 20 over his last 3. The leading scorer, 16.6 for TCC. Gladden, Bruton inside. They cut off Gaines. Jackson back to Gaines. Gaines in the corner. Awad quickly. They cut him off. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Jackson wide open, and he missed one. Rebound by Awad. New 30 for the Titans. Awad bounces it inside. Gladden against Butte. Lots of contact, no call. 7th rebound for Gladden. It's tipped around. Back out to Jackson. Jackson driving. Floater in the lane is good. Jackson with 11, 22-16 in favor of Eastern Florida State. A lot of contact there. Butte about got knocked out. Looked like Randy White as one of those thresher-type moves coming through a offensive line back in the Dallas Cowboy era, and we got a double dribble. 3 seconds, whatever you want to call it. 10:01 to go before halftime. Ryan Johnson checks in for TCC. Tell you, the top player in conference for Tallahassee was Simmons, number 21. He averaged 16.5. He has 8 straight games had 8 straight games in double figures before the regular season finale against Northwest Florida. But he did have a 31-point game in a win over the Raiders. So very capable player. Aronia to Jackson. Jackson gets the screen. Good defense. Powell all up on him. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Out long way from the basket is Gladden. Gladden driving, finding in the corner. Three-pointer is Bruton. He winds up and buries it with 1 on the shot clock. And that's a kick in the stomach for sure. Back up to a 9-point lead. Titans lead 25-16. Timeout Eagles. Full timeout. We'll take 1-2. 9:29 to the half. And while you were away, a technical foul, a Class A technical foul, which I have no idea what that is. I didn't read the manual, sorry, was whistled on Tallahassee Community College head coach Mark White. So, free throw made by Jackson. But officiating has been, let's just call it suspect throughout the day. Old standby. Yeah, definitely some odd calls at some odd times. That's kind of why we were almost running behind. All right, 11-point lead. Titans on top. Loading it up is Lewis. That's short. Rebound Baronia for Eastern Florida. Last game we had a technical foul down the stretch. Dunked by Gladden. And at 9-10, it's a 13-point lead in favor of Eastern Florida. First two games combined 3-point differential. This one's 13, though. Long way to go still. Powell, Lewis, good ball movement. And the Titans up to it, up to the challenge. Powell loads up the three. That one's off. Rebound, Bruton. And Eastern, who has been dominant throughout the season, nobody picks up Jackson. He goes all the way. He's got 14, and just like that, it's up to a 31-16. It's an 11-0 run for the Titans. It was 20-16. Now it's 11-0 run, a three-pointer, and that'll end the run as Powell buries it. And a timeout, or my time. It's not like he said white time, signifying Eastern Florida, but my time. So 31-19 at the 8:16 mark. Eastern Florida coaching staff not happy with the defensive effort. We heard all about it. All right, 8:10 to go. E4 halftime. Gladden, Jackson, Maronia. They cut off the cutter. Jackson. 44% from three. That one's off, though. Offensive rebound by Gaines, and he draws the foul. A lot of people are surprised. They say, well, usually the teams that shoot well from three do not rebound well, but this Eastern Florida team, 13.6 rebound margin on the positive side. Excellent rebounding team. They were even better last year. I believe they were up near 20 per game last season. They're not as big as they were last season, but they're just as active, and they still shoot very well. 15-0 this season in the Southern Conference. Two of their three losses were by a combined 3 points, and their other loss is a 13-point game to Gulf Coast State on a neutral floor, 32-19. Eastern on top, 7:45 to the half. So Smith, Simmons, Stavian, Allen, Butte, and Powell for TCC. Here's Butte against Baronia. And they're going to get Baronia for the foul. Powell, who's played quite a few minutes here off the bench, which is pretty standard from their statistics. Powell, Smith, and they have definitely identified Smith. They are definitely all over him, making sure that he is not a factor. They're trying to make sure that he doesn't get off. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Into the paint, layup, and good by David Simmons. Like I said, Simmons, the leading scorer in conference play, 16 and a half. Averaged 14.2 overall for the year. Had 8 straight double-figure games until the regular season finale against Northwest Florida. There's a wide-open Jackson, and that one's off. He's missed 3 straight. Probably hasn't happened too often. The rebound by Smith. Nice pass to Stavian Allen, who is fouled by Jackson. Unable to finish. 6 minutes, 36 seconds to go to the half. First foul on Jackson. That's 4 on the Titans. So Allen rims out. See the return of Rashad Lewis. He's joined by Powell, Simmons, Allen, who's on the line, and Butte, Bruton, Gladden, Jackson, Baronia, and Gaines for Eastern. Missed them both. 32-21 before halftime. Titans up by as many as 15 so far here in half number 1. Baronia on the high post. Nice pass. Gaines, contact. And they're going to get Butte, I believe, correct, for the foul. 6 minutes, 18 seconds. That's 2 on Butte. So Gaines will go to the line. Gaines a 61% free throw shooter, 54% from the floor. Missed that one. Rebound Allen for TCC. Powell loads up, bang, and just like that, TCC's back to within 8. They got as close to as 4 after the initial surge, and then you had an 11-0 run, made it a 15-point lead. Now we're back down to 8. See what they can get it to by halftime. Bruton with a nice move, lays it in. 34-24. It's back to a double-digit lead. Driving, cut off, layup, block, foul. 2 shots for David Simmons. And like I said, Simmons, their top player during the Pan-Am Conference season. I keep harping on that because that is a tremendous, tremendous conference. They had the national champion in it last season. And Northwest Florida State played for the national championship 3 of the last 4 years. Region 8's won 2 of the last 4. CF in 13, Northwest last season. Before that, the only 2 teams that won it were Pensacola and Northwest back in the 90s. Pensacola, the first team in 93, Florida's first. Excellent book by Michael Johnson chronicling Coach Bob Marlin and his team that season. Here's Bruton driving, cut off. Awad for 3. Nope. And it's loose. Picked up by Bruton. Nope. Awad again. Bunch of Eagles converging. Blocked by Butte. And Butte stuffs him, and it causes the travel with 5:22 remaining here in the first half. So the refs called a couple technicals. Almost had another warning there, it looked like. So 5:18 first half. Tallahassee trying to battle back, and they're a tough team. And they can score too. Like I said, 12-3 when they score over 80, and under 500 when they don't. Right now, obviously, they're a little below that pace. Eastern Florida's been held under 70 just 3 times this season. 2-1 in those games. Here's Powell. Nope. And rebounded by Gladden, who they have not boxed out at all here in the first half. Gladden all the way, lost the handle, and a foul. That'll be the double bonus. It's going to be on Smith with 5 to go. 2 on Smith, and we're going to have a lot of free throws over the next 5 minutes. You can go to Vegas and put money on that. So 2 shots for Gladden. DJ Gladden, 68% from the line, 46% from the floor. He averages 12 points per game. He is their leading rebounder on the season. One of 2. Bruton, who comes off the bench, averaging 14.7. So, and of course the leading scorer, Miss Jackson. Inside, Simmons. There's a 3 by Powell. Butte lays it in. Dion Butte, 6'8" freshman, lays it in. And taken away by the Eagles. Smith ahead. Powell. Nice pass back to Johnson, who misses the jam. Good rebound by Lewis. He gets it back. He unable to finish a wad. Contact. And the Titans dodge a bullet on that one. Bruton against Butte. Layup good by Kareem Bruton. And the Titans back up by 11. 2 teams are almost identical and are basically identical in points. And then scoring defense, 68 per game for Eastern, 69 for TCC. 2-pointer by Powell, and he knocks it down. And the big thing is TCC, 14 games where they've made 10 or more 3-pointers. That one's off, rebounded by Simmons. TCC has 5 games where they've made over 40%, 4-1 in those games. So far, not up to 40. TCC 4-4 when they shoot less than 40% overall. 15-7 when they shoot better. They're hanging around. They're within 9, 3.5 to the half. Smith. And traveling called against David Simmons. So here's Bruton. Bruton almost identical scoring average from conference to overall. Awad, Baronia, Gaines, and Gaines gets it back. Awad loads up the 3, off, and rebounded by Johnson. Eastern not really shooting as well. Like I said, the state's #1 3-pointing shooting team, and loose ball foul will be whistled on Gaines. And it'll be a 1-1, and to the line will be Ryan Johnson. Johnson, 12.3 points per game for the year, 8.8 in Panhandle Conference play. Went in double figures 3 of his last 8 games. Ryan Johnson rimmed out, and it's recovered by Awad with 2:50 to go before halftime. Bruton, a couple of swipes at it. They don't get it. Bruton, blocked by Butte. Tell you, I'm impressed with Butte. Excellent defender. They've challenged him a couple times recently, and they've made him pay. Here's Lewis. 5'8", 156 pounds from Brooklyn, New York. Definitely a tough young man. Look at him down there against Baronia. Awad inside, Gaines, 8 on the shot clock. He spins into the paint, challenges Butte. Butte with a good defense. It's loose on the floor. And a tie-up. It's a 5-car pileup on State Road 200, which you see seemingly daily. It'll be Eastern Florida ball. Yes, I am making fun of the traffic and driving in Ocala on 200. So Jackson will enter, replacing Jalen Glover. And Gladden back in, Gaines out. Eastern, the number 4 team nationally, number 1 in the state, one of 2 teams nationally ranked from Region 8. Does that referee look gassed to you? He looks like he's worn out. I know it's unseasonably warm outside, but it's like he needs a V8 or something. I don't know. So, as they clean up the mess, we'll tell you that our next game will be at 8 o'clock, Daytona State versus Polk State. Earlier today, St. Petersburg College fell 72-71 to Palm Beach State. Snapped a 2-game opening round winning streak for the Titans at the state tournament. Snapped a 5-game overall winning streak coming into the game. Baronia missed the layup, got his miss back, throws it. Taken away by Smith with 2:18 to the half. Smith in transition against 3 Titans. Slaps the backboard. Butte unable to control it. Out of bounds to Eastern Florida with 2:14. And then in the second game, 84-82 victory for Northwest Florida State. Darrell Edwards scored 18 of the final 20 points for Northwest Florida. He entered the game shooting 33% from the 3. He had 5 threes over the last 5:48. 5 of 6 for the game. 2 points off his season high of 26 against Pensacola. CF had a chance to win it. We'll talk about it momentarily. Here's Duran driving against Butte, cut off, loose on the floor. And he's standing right on the R of Central. And it's out of bounds with 1:50 to go. 9-point lead. Like I was saying, CF had a chance. KJ Moore with a good look. It went in and out as time expired. And the Raiders of Northwest Florida State hold on for an 84-82 win. Revenge on the Patriots from the 2013 matchup here in the state semifinals. Also the national championship games, both won by the Patriots. Remember the Jordan Davis shot in Mariana. Jackson took it away in the corner. They whip it to Awad. And unable to get it to fall. Rebounded by Smith. The Titans are not shooting at their normal rate, but they still lead by 9. Short. It's tipped up in the air. And they get Gaines with the grab. I don't know if that official's tired and calling some fouls, but he looks worn out. Just making an observation, you know. So Butte will go to the line. We do have 75-year-old Paul Gary down there doing the clock. His 814th consecutive game here at CF as Butte knocks in the free throw. 38-30. I'm impressed by Dion Butte. Not a player you want to challenge in the paint. Missed the free throw. Gladden as well. Gladden's nearing double digits in rebounds in the first half. He averages right around double digits for the entire game, but played very, very well here. But TCC's within 8. They trap him. Bruton. Gaines bounces it to Bruton. He floats it, and that one's going to be a goaltend, but still. Butte's going to check out. He's quite an athlete. Prehay will check in. Damian Prehay, 6'3", 192-pound freshman from Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Here's Powell. Good pass. Prehey. And a block is what we're going to see. They look at each other. One of you make the call, and they said, okay. So Gaines has racked up his third foul. Excuse me, his fourth. My mistake. Wow, take a chance with a player with 3. Now, last year in the women's, Evelyn Akator picked up 3 in the first half of the semifinal. They let her roll the last 5 minutes, I believe, with that. So we'll see if that comes back to haunt the Titans. Gaines a significant contributor. So 40-31, 12-second differential between the game and the shot clock, 42.9 to the half. And the free throw is good by Prehey. It's an 8-point lead. Eastern will bring it across. Gladden, Jackson, Bruton, Awad, and Duran. We have Powell, Lewis, Grimes, Prehey, and Ryan Johnson for the Eagles. Bruton, cut off, 7 on the shot clock. It's going to be off a TCC defender with 6 on the shot clock, 18.7 on the game clock. They had the person who's supposed to be sweeping the floor texting. Kind of reminds you of one of those, like, this is interesting. I don't know what the talk is all about here. We have blood on the floor. They call for Steve Abruzzi, the CF trainer, to clean it up. So somebody's been lacerated. And while they clean up the blood and give the standing 8 count, we'll take a break and be right back. (40-32) as they continue to clean up the blood. Didn't know Ray Mancini was fighting here tonight. But the Titans of Eastern Florida State led by as many as 15 here in the first half. They actually got out. They had a 12-0 run, opened up an 11-point lead. TCC got it down to 4. 11-0 run again, made it 15. And since then, TCC has been chipping away, and they got it to 6. And it's currently at 8. As the blood has finally gone from the floor, they inbound it. Duran picks up the loose ball. 2 on the shot clock, 1. And he gets it off, and it's short. And they don't box out Duran. He lays it up. No, it's rebounded again by Duran. Duran with a bounce to Bruton, who lays it in. Great hustle right there by Bruton. Long 3, and it's off. And the Eagles frustrated as they're unable to corral the loose ball. 10-point lead into halftime for Eastern Florida State. We'll take a break and give the officials a chance to catch their breath. You too. We'll see you here in 1450. All right, 10-point halftime lead for Eastern Florida State over Tallahassee Community College. The Titans led by as many as 15 here in the first half. They trailed only once at 3-0. C.J. Jackson with 14 points for Eastern, 10 rebounds for B.J. Gladden. They are the top producers so far. Give the players on the court. You have Gladden, Jackson, Baronia, Duran, and Bruton for Eastern. Smith, Simmons, Johnson, Butte, who just missed. Rebound by Duran, and Lewis, the original starting five, back on the court for TCC. So Jackson, here's Baronia against 3 Eagles, blocked by Butte. See who they got that one on. They get that foul on Johnson. So the block was clean. I guess Butte was okay, but they got Johnson with the foul. That's his first. So Gladden will go to the line. Eastern Florida State 27-3, the number 4 ranked team nationally by the NJCAA, number 1 in the state. Second free throw is up and off, so he missed them both. It's tipped around and recovered by Lewis. Lewis in the corner. Smith lines up the 3. That one is no good. Rebound Duran. And contact to the floor goes Jackson off his quad and out of bounds to Tallahassee. With 19-19 remaining in regulation. So Powell, who played very well off the bench, makes a quick appearance for TCC. Simmons will inbound it. Butte. And Smith calling out the play for the Eagles. Remember, up next, Daytona State, Polk State, roughly 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Three-pointer by Powell, rims out, and a rebound. Grabbed by Duran. Duran to Baronia. He will lay it up and in. George Baronia makes it a 12-point lead for Eastern. 18:50 to go. Or the men's semifinals will be Friday, 1 and 3 p.m. First one already set, 1 o'clock Northwest Florida State and Palm Beach at 1 p.m. Friday afternoon, Eastern Time. Three-pointer is good by Jackson. 45% from 3 this season, averaged 20 points per game in conference play. And after that 3 by Jackson, the Titans have equaled their biggest lead of the game. Timeout Eagles will take one too, 18:29 remaining. Full timeout TCC. Here's Smith driving out of the timeout. Shot is short. Rebound by Durant for the Titans. Jackson will bring it across. Jackson, they trap him. He gets away. Durant left open, top of the key. 3 is short. And it will be TCC ball. But the Eagles are down 15. 19-11 on the year. And the stat to watch, 12-3 when they score plus 80 points or more. 7-8 when they don't. Rebound by Duran. Here's a bounce pass. Layup by Bruton is good, and the Titans take their biggest lead of the game at 17 with 17:45 remaining. Three-pointer is up, no good by Johnson. It's on the floor. Jackson, and he flips it back to a teammate, Gladden. He will bring it across the floor. It's 3 against 2. In transition, the foul. And right now, not looking good for the Panhandle Conference runner-up. 3 on Simmons, and Duran will go to the line. So 49-32. Up next, Daytona State and Polk will play. The winner of that game will play the winner of this one. We'll give you the women's schedule here momentarily. That one's off. Tomorrow's schedule, 1 o'clock, College of Central Florida versus Gulf Coast. 3 o'clock, Santa Fe College versus Broward College. From there at 6 o'clock, defending national champs, Chipola College against Eastern Florida State. And then at 8 o'clock to close the day out, Daytona State, Northwest Florida State. 1 of 2 for Duran, 50-32. That Northwest Daytona women's game, rematch of 108-101 win in double overtime for Daytona State. We'll see if they can approach that level of excitement in the rematch. Smith drives baseline. Good first step, but Baronia got a piece of it and knocks it out of bounds. So Johnson. Smith against Baronia. He tries to take him. They cut him off. Good help. Tapped around. Taken away by Jackson. Jackson bounces it to Gladden. And a block going to be whistled on Simmons. Basket counts. And it's 50-32. I don't know if Simmons was hurt. That's his 4th personal. He is limping. Hit him right on that small of the back tailbone maybe. So Gladden will try to complete the 3-point play. The leading rebounder, 3rd leading scorer for the Titans. Simmons walking gingerly over to the bench. You know, you look at that in the first half, it was 40-32. TCC stopped them, but 3 chances by the Titans, they convert, and the Eagles frustrated going into the locker room at halftime. And they have came out, and it's 13-0 here in the second half until that. So 13 straight to start the second half, finally ended by Powell. But it's a 19-point lead, and the Eagles got some work to do, but still a long, long time. If you don't believe me, just watch some of the games from last year here at State. Good pass inside over to Bruton. Bruton with a nice floater. 55-34, 21-point lead. Loading up the 3 is off. Rebound by Gladden for Eastern. They will take it across. Here's Jackson. Bruton. Baronia slapped right to Johnson for the Eagles. Johnson hands it off to an assistant coach and out of bounds with 15 minutes, 46 seconds to play in regulation. So Awad, Bruton, Glover, Jackson, and Gaines, who does have the 4 fouls. He, along with number 21, Simmons of Tallahassee, who's on the bench with 4. You have Powell, Butte, Grimes, Smith, and Rashad Lewis for TCC. who trail by 21. Awad, ball slapped out of bounds. 13 on the shot clock. The energy and air has kind of gone out of the gym at this point. Some murmuring going on. That's about it. Here's Gaines. He drives against Butte. Corner, Awad. He fires. He's off. Rebound, Butte with 15:15 to go in the ball game. Powell. Inside, Butte. Turn. Puts it up. Good. 55-36. 19-point lead. Remember, the first 13 points of the second half scored, and actually that'd be a 15-0 run overlapping the first half. Because they had that wild scramble, had 3 chances there at the end of the half. If you don't believe in momentum, check out this game. Taken away by the Eagles. Here they come in transition. Contact against Awad, and they're going to get a block on Awad as Grimes went barreling in there. So the block called. Timeout. 30-second timeout. We'll take 1-2 to pay the sponsors and be right back. All right. 14 minutes, 41 seconds remaining in the ball game. Austin Grimes will go to the line, 6'3" sophomore from Cincinnati, Ohio. Eastern Florida State, 13 consecutive points to start the second half. They only trail once at 3-0. 12-0 run. Eagles got to within 4. 11-0 run, push it to 15. Eagles got it down to 6 late. Last play of the first half. 3 chances to score. Got the offensive rebound on the final try. Frustrating sequence for the Eagles there. And then 13 straight to start half number 2. And we're at 55-38. Baronia against Butte. He backs him down. And back the window is Georgie Baronia. $19-point lead. Shot is off. Offensive rebound. Grimes puts it in. So Grimes wanting to play here. He's done some good stuff since he's checked in. That's going to be on Awad. That's his third. So he joins Gaines in foul trouble. Gaines with the 4 fouls, all in the first half. So far, hadn't really manifested itself. But up next, Daytona and Polk State will play. They split a pair of games during the regular season. Polk, first appearance in 2 seasons, they beat Eastern Florida State in overtime, then battled it out pretty close with Chipola to the final minutes before losing. That was 2 years ago, year number 1 of the state tournament here in Ocala. Then Daytona State clinched a share of its 3rd consecutive Mid-Florida Conference championship. But each of the last 2 seasons, they've come up short here in the opening round. Beat late on a late basket by Pensacola State 2 years ago. And then last year, I would say they were the decided favorite against Miami-Dade. But Miami-Dade dominated them over the final 10 minutes and won going away. Daytona's free throw shooting was very, very bad in that game. So they want to try to reverse a trend. They have really struggled. Then the last time before that, I believe they were the Mid-Florida Conference champions. That was during Ricardo Ratliff's sophomore year. And they struggled and wound up getting upset in the opening round that year. So they really want to turn it around. They have not gotten off to good starts, and we'll see how that goes. Polk, Daytona coming up at 8 o'clock. Ball tapped out of bounds by the Eagles. Earlier today, Palm Beach State 72-71 over St. Petersburg. It was 72-68, then a late 3, so it wasn't a buzzer beater for those wondering. 84-82 Northwest Florida State over CF, College of Central Florida. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Jackson. NBA range. That is off. Grimes. They want to travel. No. Grimes pushing it. Lewis. Cut off. Smith to Lewis. Lewis. Nice maneuver. Grimes wasn't ready. Recovers it against 3 Titans. Off the window. No. A wide. It's tipped. And Bruton grabs it. And the Titans come away unscathed on that sequence, up 16. Let's see if the Eagles can get it to 10, around the 10-minute mark. See if they can chip away at it and remain in striking distance. Baronia on the bench must have some blood on the jersey. It's unseasonably hot outside today for Ocala, 83 degrees. According to the National Weather Center. Usually the high is around 71 to 73. So you do the math and figure out the difference. Wallington inbounding. Here's Gladden, 5 on the shot clock. Baronia, nice pass to Gladden. He puts it up. No, gets his own miss. He'll go up, strip of the ball, and out of bounds. Stays with the Titans. 12:49 remaining. 29 on the shot clock following the deflection out of bounds. You have number 5, Wallington, Baronia, Gladden, Awad, and Bruton for Eastern. And back in with the 4 fouls is Simmons. And watch him, see if he moves a little slower. He took a pretty hard shot. He's still favoring that back. He went down pretty hard. Eagle bench did not like that call. And yet another cleanup on aisle 6. This one is brought to you by absolutely no one. So 12:49 to go. And it's good that they get that. And I'll tell you, the place you want to look at, when this gym gets hot, is that foul line on the end that the Titans are shooting from here. I've seen some people look like the ice capades go up in the air. It does get hot, very much so. And it really seems to affect that end. I don't know why. I don't have a ventilation plan. That's above my pay grade. You want to know? Google it. All right, back to live action. Eagles with the ball. Powell will load up the 3. Then it's good. There they go. They're back to within 13, 57-44. They were down by as many as 21. Gladden driving. Contact. Stays with the Titans. 12:18 remaining in the ball game. So Bruton to inbound. Durant, Baronia, back to Bruton. The second leading scorer on the season. He had been held in check. They've done a good job on him. Against Smith, back iron, no. Tipped out of bounds into the cameraman. And it stays with the Titans. It's a dangerous spot down there on the baseline. I know cameraman Bruce Ackerman with one of those bazooka cameras, those big ones. He took a basketball, pretty good speed to the face at the Kingdom of the Sun a couple years ago. And he was out like he'd just been hit from a Mike Tyson punch when Tyson actually fought well. And again, the ball slapped out, 12:04, 28 on the shot clock. Jackson, Baronia against Butte. They double down. Jackson from the corner for 3. Rainbow 3. Burying it, 60-44. That's 5 threes for Jackson. 44%. Powell, Smith for three. Nope. Rebound by Duran. And remember that 80-point mark. That's what the point mark to look at for the Eagles. 7 and 8 when they don't hit 80. Boom! Bruton takes off and stuffs it home. 62-44. So just like that, it's back up to 18. Top of the key three. Powell answers on the other end. He's hit a couple threes, and it's taken away. Let's see what they can do now. Smith to Butte. Takes the jump step inside, and he'll get two. Titans wanted to travel. That was the Euro step, I believe. I'm impressed with Butte. Excellent all-around player. He's done a lot on the defensive end especially. And see if he can get the Eagles closer, which unable to. Last win at state for the Eagles, 2011 state championship game. So it's been a little while. Titans, like we said, made the national tournament. First time since the 1980s last year as the zone qualifier. There is no zone qualifier for men. Now, there are at-large bids and all that fun stuff. Offensive foul on Baronia with 10:50 to go. The women this year have a zone qualifier, which means the top two teams are headed regardless. 3 on Baronia, by the way. Region 8's had up to 3 teams go in the past. One year it was Gulf Coast, Northwest, and Chipola all made it. Last year it was 2. And we'll see how many they get this year. My guess is at least 2. Possibly, obviously it will be 2. And on the floor, Butte and a timeout. And they don't give him the timeout. And, okay. Butte grabbed the rebound. He called timeout. I think everybody in the gym heard it, except the guy who was probably closer to him than anyone else. So maybe he was out of bounds. I don't know. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but a few people voicing their displeasure with that call. Bruton, cut off. They want to travel on this end. Durant gets a defender up in the air. Bruton, Jackson, Durant calling for it. 3 Eagles converge. Baronia, they want 3 seconds. Rebound by Powell. That was dangerous there for Simmons with the 4 fouls. All that bang on both ends, and that's the foul. Interesting. Okay. Consistency is a key in all walks of life, what I've been told. Timeout Titans. We'll take 1, 2. 9:56 remaining in regulation. Eastern up by 14. 62-48, 9:56 remaining in regulation. Tallahassee led only once, 3-0. Here's Powell. He tries for his, and he does, his third three of the second half, and it's down to 11. Let's see if they can continue to whittle it down. They're definitely not out of this by a long shot. They're battling back, trailed by as many as 21. Do they have enough time? Baronia. Here come the Eagles. Remember, Simmons with the 4 fouls. But he's back in. You got to let it all hang out. You don't get a do-over if you lose one. It's one and done here at the state tournament. Powell, this time Bruton really up in his face. And he fires it up. And he's on fire. His fourth three of the second half. And it's down to 8. And here comes the crowd, the Tallahassee fans, getting into it. 62-54. Devon Powell, 4 threes here in the second half. 3-pointer on the way. Bruton missed it. Simmons skies up. And they can get it to a 2-possession game just like that. It was 21. NBA range. Powell maybe feeling a little bit too much, but Simmons got it back. Simmons drives, cut off. He gets in, blocked by Duran. Butte. And a foul may be called on Butte. I'll tell you, Powell's been very hot from the floor. That might have been a little bit far. But I'll tell you, he's been their top. He's led them back. He's the reason they're back in this ball game. Because they were hit with a 13-0 run to start the second half. And Don Meredith, wherever he's at, looking down, was getting ready to sing his favorite Willie Nelson song, but obviously that's all changed. Inside Baronia, Awad. He has still not made one from beyond the arc. Rebound by Simmons. Simmons pushing. Lewis fakes Awad out. And another three. 62-57. Here come the Eagles. And they are right back into this one. Contact. Jackson decked. Looked like the elbow. Second on Lewis. Some of these officials are more descriptive with their foul calls than others. Gives us something to talk about. Bruton, Baronia, Awad, Gladden, and Jackson for the Titans. Bruton, Gladden against Grimes, and it's taken away. Here comes Powell, 1 against 2. Stripped of the ball, recovered by Jackson. And another foul on Grimes. 7:33 remaining in regulation. And the partisan Eagle crowd behind the bench cheers on their guys. Timeout. Tallahassee will take 1-2 and be right back. 62-57. Titans have seen a 21-point lead slashed to 5. Back-to-back threes. Catalyst for that. Here recently, it's knocked out of bounds. It stays with the Titans. Members of the brigade, the CF fan club, still here yelling at the refs. Glad to see their supporting people. We got a long way to go. Let's see what happens. The Titans look very stagnant on offense. Not moving as well as they were. Down to 3 on the shot clock, and Bruton gets the roll. 64-57, less than 7 to play. Here's Powell, and the Eagles can fill it up. Missed that time. Grimes goes up over Baronia and puts it in. 64-59, 6:44 to go. Like I said, 14 times this season Tallahassee's made at least 10 threes in a game. They had a high of 16. Taken by Grimes. Here they go. Layup, yes. 64-61. Eagles are within 3. Grimes and Powell off the bench. They have been the ones who have led this back. And the crowd starts to get into it. The TCC faithful. And that's an unfortunate call right there. 3 on Lewis. So we'll have the 1-and-1. We'll see if the Titans can hold on at the foul line. Things were going so well for them, but they have really, and they miss. Rebound by Johnson, who's played a good part of the second half with 4 fouls. Three-pointer, Powell is short. That would have brought the house down if he'd have knocked that one down. 5:55 to go. Jackson, Baronia, Wallington, Awad, and Gladden. Three-pointers up and off by Jackson. This has to be one of the weaker shooting performances of the year from 3 for Eastern. They are typically around 41% from long range. They are well beneath that. We'll get you the official statistics here momentarily, but they are well beneath that. And they take it. Ooh, it's on the floor. Lewis and Awad jump ball, and the arrow and the ball belong to Eastern Florida State with 5 minutes, 21 seconds to go in regulation. I keep harping on regulation with the way the games have gone today. Decided the first 2 by a combined 3 points. That's it. Haven't had an actual buzzer beater. Had a game that decided at the buzzer on a missed shot that almost looked to be a victory. Here's Jackson. Baronia. And another turnover. Boy, the Titans are really out of sync right now. Powell, he will lay it in, and it's a 1-point game. Javon Powell, 14 points in the second half. He's been the man. 21-point lead down to 1. Eastern scored the first 13 here in the second half. Three-pointer is up. Bruton is short. And the Eagles will have a chance to take their first lead since 3-0. I would bet Powell gets the ball. He's been the man here in the second half. Simmons missed that one. Awad with the rebound. I don't know if Simmons' back is still bothering him. He took quite a hard fall while being called for a block. Baronia. Awad. He fires. Short. He's not connected yet. Just not finding the rhythm tonight. New shot clock, though. 3:52 to go in the ball game. Eastern has really struggled from beyond the arc. They force it again and unable to get it to fall. TCC with a chance to take the lead. In the corner, Lewis for three. Yes! Rashad Lewis buries the three. And a technical foul on Awad. Wow. That's going to be the fourth foul on Awad. But it's falling apart here for TCC. Excuse me, for Eastern. My mistake. For Eastern. All going up positive for TCC. That's the first lead since 3-0. Free throw is good. And the nation's number 4 team is in a lot of trouble now. And it's good. 4-point lead. And the ball. 5 straight by Lewis. Awad whistled for the technical foul. I don't know what he did. That ref had like a patented little call for that technical. I've seen that before. Been a lot of technical fouls today. And noticeable as well. 3.5 minutes remaining in regulation. Eastern was once up 21 in this ball game. And now they're down 4. Can they get it back? Last couple times they've just kind of stood around and chucked threes. And I know that's not their offense. Three-pointer. Nope. Gladden. Blocked by Butte. And the Eagles kind of got a little confused with the ball. It's a tie-up. And that should be Eagle ball, and it is with 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go. 21-point lead. At 1 point for Eastern Florida. Eastern Florida 15-0 in the Southern Conference. Remember, they had a meltdown 2 years ago and lost to Polk State in the opening round. Polk State actually the last team who was not ranked in the state coaches poll to win a game here at state. They came in unranked. I believe they were like 16-13, and they beat Eastern, who had hovered around number 2 and 3 most of that year in the state coaches poll. So lightning strike again. Eastern Florida's got to get some momentum going back. They are really in a funk. Simmons with the 4 fouls. Gets it to Grimes, who's been huge in the second half. Simmons again, 5 on the shot clock against Awad. Three-pointer again is off, that time by Lewis and Gladden. Good defense by the Titans. They needed a stop. Here's Bruton. Blocked by Butte. Rebound Simmons for Tallahassee. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go. And the Eagles will take a timeout. 2 minutes, 21 seconds to go. The momentum with the Panhandle Conference runners-up. Titans, the number 4 team in the country, in trouble. We'll take a break. You talk about a role reversal. 21-point lead at 1 point for Eastern Florida State. Scored the first 13 points of the second half. The only time they trailed was 3-0. Don Meredith was queuing up, turn out the light, the party's over somewhere. Probably hanging out with Frank Gifford. I'm sure Howard Cosell was not invited to that party. Maybe John Unitas and a few others, but all of a sudden TCC turned it around, and they lead 68-64. In the corner, Lewis with the ball. 2 on the shot clock. Nope, back iron. Both teams kind of not getting into their offense the last couple times down. Stripped of the ball in a hurry. Grimes, and he's fouled. That'll be all for Awad. He will sit down. One minute, 50 seconds to play. The nation's number 4 team, the number 1 team in Florida, Eastern Florida State, hanging by a thread, 27-3. They've only been held under 70 points 3 times this season. Their low output was 61. In a loss to Gulf Coast. Also a member of the Panhandle Conference. Free throw is short. And free throw on their way. And Grimes missed them both. They leave the door wide open for the Titans. Bruton brings it across. Bruton, pull-up jumper. Back iron, no. And Grimes there for the rebound once again. 68-64, minute 33 remaining in regulation. A lot of contact, no call. That's good, they're letting them play. Here's Powell inside. Simmons, who's played a bulk of the second half with 4. Three-pointer, and that could be a dagger right there. Lewis burying it. He scored the last 8, and it's a 7-point lead. Titans haven't scored the last 8 minutes. Eyeball Jim Bavacqua showed up here. Super fan here of junior college basketball, and since he got there, the Titans have not scored. They're down 7, 57.6 seconds. This would be definitely qualified as an upset. And, wow. Titans average 82 points a game on the regular season. The number 4 team in the nation gets on the board. Timeout Eastern. 2-possession game. We'll take a break and be right back. Don't celebrate too early and don't go anywhere, as we'll have the conclusion when we return. (71-65). Titans trying to battle back. Lewis gets the inbound pass, and they've got a foul. They don't have time to waste. They try to play off the offensive foul. They got to do something. They go for the trap. 47.6 seconds to go. And now, if they can make free throws, and Gaines will foul out. That's 2 Titans. Gaines had the 4 fouls in the first half, and it's just unraveled. We were sitting here and we were kind of saying, well, this game is kind of drawn to a major lull, but after that, Tallahassee just took off. Maybe the Titans got a little too comfortable. If they're unable to be successful, this would be the second time in 3 years where I would consider them being upset. That one's off. They still have life, though, and they have the best three-point shooting team in the state. Jackson. That's a smart foul. It's a smart foul. Be 2 shots, but didn't let them hit the 3 and going to make them sit there and do what a lot of people can't do consistently, knock down free throws. Northwest did that. They fouled Brandon Tabb, did not let CF get that 3. Excuse me, it was a 1-and-1. He made it anyway. 40.9 seconds. 2 for 2. It's a 4-point lead. Get a turnover and something happens. Let's see what occurs. They beat it pretty easy. Here they come to trap, and they do. 35.3 seconds. There's a lot of time left. For on Bruton. Eastern battle back. Won at the buzzer against Pensacola last year. Won in overtime against St. Petersburg. So they're no stranger to close games here at the state tournament. Free throw is good. Obviously, none of those players are still here from 2 years ago. But have several who were part of the team last year that got the job done. Big free throw by Simmons. He had to pick an MVP, though. It would definitely be Javon Powell for TCC with an assist to Austin Grimes. Those two have been super, followed by Rashad Lewis. And they turn it over in a 2-possession game. And I'll tell you what, 27.7 seconds. And the nation's number 4 team in a lot of trouble. Now you want to get into all the scenarios about at-large and what would Eastern's chances be if they lost. You don't win a game at your own state tournament, I don't think you get in. I really doubt it. I say that because Daytona a couple years ago had a pretty gaudy record and a very impressive Massey rating, and they lost the opening round to a team with a similar record and did not make it. So they might have played themselves out of a return trip to the national tournament. And they are unable to score. They don't get a field goal again. So turn out the lights. The party's over. And they say that all good things must come to an end. So 8-point lead. And 2 free throws for the man of the hour, Javon Powell, who hit 4 threes in the second half. He is definitely your player of the game. Missed it. Those ESPN fan graphs, I think the win percentage is pretty high right now for the Eagles, though. But you never know. We'll see. But like I said, that at-large bid, and they go for 2 when they're down 8. And a foul. And you can cue up Roseanne Barr. This one out of nowhere, down 21 in the second half. Tallahassee Community College is going to send the nation's number 4 team back to the Space Coast. That'll be a 15-game winning streak coming to an end. This is just the 4th time this season, barring a late 3, that they're going to be held under 70 points. Tremendous, tremendous comeback. 9-point lead. Eastern Florida State is going to go down. They're going to finish the year 27-4. Tallahassee's going to improve to 20-11. Eastern does, it's all over. 76-67. They don't make a field goal for over 8 minutes to close the game. And that'll do it. 76-67. I think there's a ton of shock here at Patriot Gym about the way that one ends. Congratulations to Tallahassee Community College. They get the win. Eastern Florida State sees a fine season come to an end. They're out. The number 1 team in the state, the number 4 team in the United States is done. Tallahassee rallies from 21. They were down. They got hit with a 13-0 run to start the second half, but they pick up the victory. Congratulations to Coach Mark White and his team. MVP of that had to be Javon Powell. Tallahassee 76, Eastern Florida 67. We'll be back in about 20 minutes with our 4th game, Daytona State and Polk State.
And